Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got another kit to show you today, and it's from SMOK, Smoke Tech. Just reviewed the G150. They have the GX350. They got the Alien kits. They got the SMOK Brit 1 Mega, SMOK Brit 1 Mini. This is their newest one, Q Box kit. Don't let the packaging fool you, boys and girls. Don't let it fool you. It is tiny, tiny, tiny. Here it is right here. Look at this thing. This is the smallest regulated kit that I've dealt with in a very, very, very long time. It comes with a TFV8 Baby Beast, 2 coil heads. It's got a small battery. We'll get into the battery, but I want to show you a size comparison between the mod and something like this. That is an 18650 battery, guys. Look how small that sucker is. Holy freaking cannoli. And here it is in the palm of my hand. It's not even as big as my palm. Here she is next to the G150, the one that I just reviewed from SMOK. Tiny. What? So yeah, this is a tiny little bitty kit, and it packs a punch for its size too. I'm gonna go over this stuff in the close-ups, of course, but on the side of the mod, you got all your function buttons. You got your reset button down below. On the bottom, you got your USB port for charging and upgradable firmware. You got your holes for battery venting. On the front of the mod, you got your mini screen. At the top, you got your 510 connection, and it sits over on the side, so it doesn't sit in the middle. I wish it sat in the middle. That would be even better. Again, it comes with a TFV8 Baby Beast, 2 coil heads, 0.25 ohm M2 coil heads. The mod's got a built-in 1600 milliamp hour battery, and again, look at the size. God, my hand just swallows this up. Swallows it up freaking ho. The flavor I'm getting off both the 0.25 ohm coil heads have just been great. For a sub-ohm tank, top notch. Each one of them has lasted me 3 to 4 days. And I'm going on my 7th M2 0.25 ohm coil head, and it's been performing great. Again, 3 to 4 days I'm getting out of them. So the pros, it's portable, small, man, itty bitty, packs a punch. Vape's great with the 0.25 ohm coil heads. Love this TFV8 Baby Beast it comes with. Like how it comes in different color options. You got stainless steel, you got black. I've seen gold. I like how it's the same mini screen as the Alien and as the G150 and as the GX350, because people that have already owned that want something portable, it's just easy to transition over to it. You know it's going to be the exact same way to go into the menu settings, to adjust the temperature if you want to do that, to adjust the wattage, the normal, the pre-heat boost settings, all that good stuff. Easy for those type of vapors to adjust the mini screen. That's what I'm trying to say. For those of you newbies out there getting into this for the first time, it may take time to get used to the mini screen, but I think it's easy once you get a hold of it, once you grasp it. Love the fact it's got a built-in battery. You know, I'm not really a huge fan of taking my batteries out, having to charge them up, pop them back in there. It's just convenient. You plug in your USB port into here, into your computer or your wall adapter, and you're good to go. It charges up, grab it, and you vape it. And for its size, I mean, it's hefty little thing. Got some good weight to it. Oh yeah, back to the TFV8 Baby Beast. Holds a good amount of juice, especially for its size, 3 mils. And they even have a TPD version now that holds 2 mils. The wattage up, wattage down buttons on the side, nice, comfortable, and clicky. And the fire button, it's not as clicky, but it's still comfortable. Oh yeah, and the menu screen is huge for the size of this mod. That's another thing I love about it, and it's big, bright, and beautiful. And also, you're gonna see this in the close-ups, but on video, the screen doesn't show up as bright. Don't let that deceive you. So the TFV8 Baby Beast that comes with this Q-Box kit is 22 millimeter in diameter, but the good thing about this mod is you could pop on your 24 millimeter tanks and it's going to sit flush and there's going to be no overhang. Check out this 24 millimeter Azeroth RTA on here. There's no overhang, sits flush. Again, 24 millimeter. Back to the TFV8 Baby Beast. I'm really not going to go into more detail about this tank because I already have a full review on it. If you missed that, I'll post a link down in the description. Check it out. But as far as airflow, you don't get as much as the big Baby Beast, but you still get enough airflow. I mean, it's smooth and you get plenty of it, especially for a lung hit. That's wide open. Very, very comfortable lung hit. Here it is, boys and girls, the packaging for this SMOK Q-Box kit. And of course, inside that packaging, you're going to receive your SMOK TFV8 Baby Beast with a pre-installed M2 0.25 ohm coil head. Comes with an extra M2 0.25 ohm coil head, a baggie of extra O-rings, and an extra gasket. Included is a black and orange vape band, a SMOK Q-Box mod, a USB cable for charging, a warranty/verification card, and last but not least, a Q-Box kit user manual. And here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the SMOK Q-Box kit all assembled. You got your TFV8 Baby Beast, which I'm not going to go into any detail today because I've got a full review on already. If you're interested in the TFV8 Baby Beast, I'll post a link down in the description to my full review of this bad boy. And here's what she looks like with the TFV8 Baby Beast on there. Again, this is a 22 millimeter tank and she sits flush, no overhang, just is meant for it. And before we get to the Q-Box mod, I want to point this out. This kit comes with 2 M2 0.25 ohm coil heads, and these are supposed to be one of their upgraded coil heads. You could vape this thing between 30 and 50 watts. That's what they recommend. You got your feed slots, uses organic cotton, and it's a medium-sized build. I wouldn't wouldn't say it's a small coil or a big macro coil, just right in the middle. And I've vaped 7 of these M2 0.25 ohm coil heads, and they vape great. At least 3 days I've gotten out of all of them, no issues. And another thing to point out, I've heard people having issues with SMOK coil heads, not this coil head in particular, but other SMOK coil heads. I'm just going to go ahead and state it. I've had probably one issue with one of their coil heads in the past. 99% of them have been awesome, have performed great, have lasted at least 3 days. Now onto this Q-Box mod. Look how tiny this thing is, but a few specs for you. She's about 55.5 millimeter by 33.5 millimeter by 25 millimeter. At the top of the device, you have stainless steel 510 threads, a spring-loaded 510 pin. On the side, you got your fire button, which does not protrude hardly at all. I mean, barely. And then you got your waters up, waters down buttons down here. Also, you have a reset button down here. At the base, you got vent holes for battery venting. You have a USB port for charging and upgradable firmware. It's got a built-in 1600 milliamp hour battery, and the screen on this is a good size, especially for the mod. Now, this screen is not bright in the video, but it's a lot brighter in regular life, so don't let that fool you. Just like the G150 I just reviewed. And as far as navigating the screen, I'm not going to go into any detail because I've already done it over and over and over again. I'll post a link down in the description to the Alien 220, which is pretty much the exact same way to navigate it. The only differences is the wattage. This is a 50 watt device, 6 to 50 watt device. The Alien 220 is 220 watts. The G150 is 150 watts. The GX350 is 350 watts. You guys get the drift. Again, I'll post a link down in the description if you're interested in navigating or knowing how to navigate this mini screen. On the front, it says SMOK. Again, you got the mini screen. It says Q-Box down here. Just a simple mod, guys, and it's super stealthy, super portable, just a tiny piece. Color options, the two color options that I've held personally is this silver and then the black. And here is the black one that I own. Now, I've also seen a gold, but I personally don't own a gold version. And here's what the black Q-Box kit looks like all assembled. Now, I want to point this out. The 510 threads aren't the smoothest. They're not like not smooth. It's just the connection of the devices that I screw on here are really tight, but they screw down all the way. That's just something to point out. If I unscrew this, and then I go screw it back on, it takes a second to catch. Actually, the first time I ever screwed this device, this tank, onto this mod, it was like, oh man, it wouldn't catch, it wouldn't catch, it wouldn't catch, and finally it did catch, and I haven't had any issues since then, but screwing it about halfway down, it starts to get a little bit tight, but it still screws down all the way, and it screws down flush. That's just something to point out. Back to the function buttons. This fire button, like I said, it protrudes barely. I wish it protruded just a little bit more, but it's not horrible, and it's nice and comfortable. I mean, it's not the clickiest, but it's clicky. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Hear that? But as far as the waters up, waters down buttons being as clicky, they're more clicky. Also, see how it's kind of slanted there? That's just being nitpicky. Also, one more thing I want to point out. So I've screwed the tank. This is a brand new unit, by the way. I've screwed the tank on and off a few times, and look at it. It's already starting to take the paint off. So I do not know how long this paint is going to last. Con number 1, battery life. Like I said, it comes with a built-in 1600 milliamp hour battery. I was out and about with the wife the other day, and I was vaping at 50 watts, full 50 watts, and I got 2 hours max out of this thing. Second con, do not like how the USB port is on the bottom. Wish it was on the side. Really prefer to charge this puppy standing up versus laying down. Next con, I don't know how long this paint job is going to last for this mod, but you guys saw in the close-up, screwing the tank on there just a few times and it took the paint off the top of the mod. Come on, SMOK, we don't want to have another alien incident. And the last con that I found for this thing, and this is going to be super nitpicky, but the fire button, I wish it protruded a little bit more, and I wish it was just a little bit more clicky. And also, as you guys saw in the close-ups, even though it protrudes just a little bit, it wasn't protruding evenly. It was like slanted down on one side. Another nitpicky thing to mention, the 510 connection, as you guys saw, sits on the side. I wish it sat in the middle. I think it would look better, perform better, and you could pop bigger tanks on here. As I mentioned in the close-ups, the 510 threads, you got to break them in. At least with the 3 units that I own. The first time I screwed this baby beast on here, it took a hot minute to catch, and when I screwed it down about 3/4 of the way, it tightened up a little bit. I had to screw beyond that, and eventually it sat flush. And the last suggestion I came up with for this kit, okay, SMOK, you guys should offer a 0.5 ohm coil head, or even like a 0.7 or 0.8 ohm coil head, and it would help the battery life. Woo, but she can chuck, that's for sure. A lot of those cons I mentioned were being very nitpicky. Some of them, you know, they need to fix. Oh yeah, price point, $39.99 is what I'm seeing. I'll post a link down in the description that's selling this. To the big question, the big answer of the day, if I were looking for an errand boy, yes, I'm all over it. And what I mean by errand boy is if you're gonna be out and about for no more than 1-2 hours, yes, I'm all over this. But if I'm out longer, no, what's the point? It's gonna die on me. But the clouds this thing chucks is astonishing, especially for its size. That's undeniable. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked it, found it entertaining and helpful, well then like the video down below. And if you want to see more of me, subscribe for more. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead. Vaping is the future, and the future is now.